So for now, please allow me to call on our next resource speaker. Our next resource speaker is someone who very tirelessly stands in the front line of climate action and environmental protection. Mr. Naderev Sanyo is a globally recognized climate justice activist from the Philippines and currently serves as the chair of the board of the Laudato Si movement. He previously served as the executive director of Greenpeace Southeast Asia from 2016 to 2025, leading regional campaigns and efforts to hold major fossil fuel companies accountable for their role in the climate crisis. From 2010 to 2015, Mr. Yeb served as Commissioner of the Philippine Climate Change Commission and as the country's chief negotiator to the UN Climate Convention, where he became known as the strong voice for climate justice and vulnerable nations. He gained international attention for his powerful speech at 2013 UN Climate Summit in Warsaw, following the devastation of Super Typhoon Haiyan, as well as for leading a climate fast in solidarity with affected communities. Mr. Yeb also founded the Climate Pilgrimage Movement, which combines climate action with spirituality and solidarity through long-distance walks for climate justice. Through his lifelong advocacy, he continues to inspire communities around the world to act with courage, compassion, and hope in the face of climate crisis. Once again, please welcome Mr. Naderev Yeb Sanyo. Makakalikasang araw po, Sir Yeb.
Maraming salamat, Marian, and a pleasant day to all of you. Let me just start sharing my screen. I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so mainit na pagbati po sa ating lahat. Warm greetings of peace and ecological solidarity to all of you. And in particular, I hope everybody's coping with political developments in our country. That is also, of course, causing a lot of anxiety for us. Sabi nga ni Pope Francis, lahat interconnected. So even all of these sad events in our nation's life, of course, affect the way our country is able to respond to the challenges. So maraming salamat po for inviting us to be part again of the Kamayan sa Kalikasan. And I'm really happy to join all of you today as we anticipate the Laudato Si Week. So as we all know, and as has been mentioned, the theme for Laudato Si Week this year is From Hope to Actions. And hope in the context of the human condition and of the planetary crisis is something that is not only a noun, it is also a verb because it requires us to act, requires us to move, to organize, and to disrupt the systems that harm our common home. So ngayong araw po, in my capacity as the chair of the Laudato Si movement, I want to share some critical updates on how our global family is translating that hope into concrete structural action. And I'm very happy to follow Sister Bing kasi naipaliwanag na ni Sister Bing yung strategic pillars ng work ng Laudato Si movement, but also, of course, how it is translated into local action. Napakahalaga kasi yun na translated into local action. So the first update I want to give is how we're expanding the Laudato Si Action Platform. So medyo may katagalan na rin po itong Laudato Si Action Platform, and our foremost call to action for the Laudato Si Week of 2026 is for parishes, schools, and organizations to formally sign up for the Laudato Si Action Platform. So nag-escalate tayo ng recruitment for actions into the platform. So sa mga hindi po masyadong familiar, the Laudato Si Action Platform is a global initiative designed to help families, parishes, schools, organizations, communities to translate the principles of integral ecology into measurable ecological impact. So kaya po may platform tayo because you have to enroll into the platform, and it gives you a sense of the structured framework where participants can formally commit to this entire journey by submitting plans, no, what we call the Laudato Si plans. And the platform will allow you to track the progress on actions aligned with the 7 Laudato Si goals. So I am very happy to share that the platform has reached a monumental milestone. As of early 2026, we now already have more than 11,000 registered participants globally. In fact, 11,680 plus. And to give you a sense of this scale, 53% ng mga participants natin of all 53% of all Catholic congregations are engaged in the platform. And hindi lang po ito sign-ups, we're actually seeing a lot of follow-through dahil mahigit 1,220 detailed plans have been submitted. And then participants have completed nearly 4,800 concrete actions aligned with the 7 Laudato Si goals. So napakalaking bagay nito. This is really for us a very, I would say, ground shaking, if you may, because we are moving from what was originally awareness building now to institutional accountability. So if your parish joins the platform, then there's accountability for the plans that have been submitted, and so on and so forth, depende kung sino nag-submit. But the work, of course, is not done. So kung ang ating mga organizations or the parish has not yet enrolled, let the week ahead of us, Laudato Si Week 2026, be the moment that you take that step. So yun po. My second update is, of course, the work of the global movement in sustaining the growth of the movement. And we have been actively strengthening our global footprint. Palagi naman po may challenges. And while chapters continue to grow, like what Sister Bing has shared with us, a major catalyst for this was the Raising Hope Conference. Alam po ninyo, just a story behind this. When we were organizing the Raising Hope Conference to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Laudato Si, Pope Francis was still alive. And who would have known that he would pass on and that we would have a new Pope when we were celebrating the 10th anniversary. So when Pope Leo became Pope, well, originally are organizing the conference to be a almost purely virtual conference. And then when Pope Leo became Pope, he said, "I want to be there." So it became a much more impactful gathering of the movement from all continents. Also, of course, a lot of participants joined online. And that conference, which successfully positioned the movement at the intersection of faith, ecological conversion, and global climate advocacy, gathering many influential voices as well as grassroots voices in Castel Gandolfo in Rome in the first days of October last year. So crucially, ito pong Raising Hope Conference, of course, elevated the phrase Raising Hope. Kaya nga po ang Laudato Si Week theme this year is Hope into Action, because that is also a continuation of that journey. It has become a real powerful springboard, not only with respect to our relationship with Pope Leo, but for institutional sustainability of the movement. We are able to successfully demonstrate the tangible power of the global network, and the gathering and the many conversations after that positioned LSM at a very important into a very important position of leadership on global climate and ecological advocacy. So ito pong visibility has unlocked vital engagement with major organizations around the world. We are actively building on this momentum to secure more significant long-term support for LSM's work across all of the regions. Because it's really important yung ating on the ground work ng ating mga not only the chapters but also our animators, our regional teams, but also our partner communities and organizations, katulad po ninyong lahat na nandito, na magkaroon tayo ng necessary resources to scale up and meet the fierce urgency of the challenges ahead. My third update is the increasing visibility of the Laudato Si movement in multilateral spaces such as in the UN climate conferences. The most recent of which was in Belém, in Brazil, COP30, and our focus on global climate governance is becoming sharper than before. And many of you know we were heavily engaged not only in the political process in Brazil, but also in building the Catholic presence in Belém. So it demonstrated, when we were there in Belém, it demonstrated LSM's impact of a united Catholic presence in global climate policy advocacy. And this strong showing, alam niyo po, I think there were 40 bishops who were in Belém, including about 8 cardinals. So that's the biggest ever show of leadership of the Catholic Church in a climate conference. And that was made possible because of the work done by the movement, coordinating closely, especially with the bishops' conferences from the global south, in Latin America and Africa, in Asia and Oceania. So a lot of exciting engagement was done in Brazil, and that momentum continues with not only with conversations but with convenings and concrete programs. The Catholic solidarity built in Belém are translated into unified action moving forward, and has driven a lot of energy into our future participation in all of these international spaces. The fourth update is related to Belém, but this is the Santa Marta conference. For those who are not familiar with what happened just a couple of weeks ago, the Santa Marta conference in Colombia was the first ever international conference on transitioning away from fossil fuels. This is an intergovernmental meeting of about 57 countries who agreed that the world should transition away from fossil fuels. And the Catholic voice again in Santa Marta was very strong. And I of course had the honor of representing LSM in Santa Marta. It's a major pillar of our work, like what Sister Bing mentioned, is seeing real progress on the fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty. And to ensure our presence in Santa Marta was impactful, we worked extensively behind the scenes with SELAM, the Latin American Catholic bishops, and other church leadership bodies. Our colleagues in LSM have taken the direct coordination of our advocacy presence in these crucial gatherings. So we're also equipping our Laudato Si animators with toolkits on the phase out of fossil fuels, so they can carry this advocacy forward locally. Our demands in Santa Marta, and I have to mention this, were powerfully anchored by the manifesto of the Church of the Global South on climate justice. This is, of course, including the Philippine bishops, and I believe this is powerful because this is the Church of the poor, our shepherds from the Global South, issuing this prophetic declaration and the united front of church leadership across the Global South continents. And it served as our moral compass during the conference, but also outside of the conference. Sana po mabasa ninyo itong manifesto if you haven't read it yet. It's really one of the most inspiring documents I've ever read in relation to how we address, not just as a Catholic family, how the international community must address climate change, because it explicitly condemns and rejects extractivist economic models. No? So napakaganda nito. I think I would even say it's very radical. So I hope you find time to read this if you haven't. And then beyond the treaty and the international gatherings, we continue to pressure institutions on divestment. Nabanggit naman ni Sister Bing yung divestment work. And we also have campaigns like the Big Bank Switch. We are empowering Christians to move their money away from banks that finance, planetary damage and destruction. And specifically in Asia, we are gearing up for an Asia Pacific campaign focusing on the acceleration of renewable energy. My fifth update, which I think is my last point, is the second to the last point is grassroots power and youth. And I'm talking about the more than 20,000 Laudato Si animators globally. None of all of the work that we do will ever be effective without grassroots power, including the grassroots here in the Philippines. So we currently have more than 7,000 animators in addition to the 20,000 existing globally actively enrolled in the program. And we recently rolled out our 2026 animators training program. I hope some of you are part of that, including translation, of course, into different languages to build our member leadership worldwide. So yan, napaka-exciting po nitong build up ng Laudato Si animators, but also we are all looking closely at in Asia Pacific. We are engaging directly with the official World Youth Day Committee in Korea dahil doon po yung susunod ng World Youth Day. That's a lot of groundwork being done to ensure that when millions of young people, especially many Catholics, gather in 2027 in Korea, the themes of Laudato Si and integral ecology are deeply integrated into their formation when they go to World Youth Day 2027. And lastly, just to highlight that Laudato Si Week invites all of us to move from hope to action, katulad po ng tema natin, ano. And hope is a lived and shared through our daily choices. Nabanggit ni Sister Bing, yung daily choices, community life, yung ating pagdarasal, and concrete acts of care. So 2026 reminds us that ecological conversions must grow step by step through relationships that are restored, creation that is protected, and communities that are made stronger. And the next chapter of Laudato Si begins with us wherever we are. So, gusto ko lang din i-highlight itong, again, yung pag-enroll sa Laudato Si Action Platform. That's the highlight of the Laudato Si Week. We're pushing everyone to be part of the platform. Pero meron din po lang tayong kaunting plugging. There's the Creation Care Ceremony on May 23rd. 2 p.m. Central European time. So sorry. And so this is a creation care ceremony, a blessing and sending forth event online. So sana po makadalo tayong lahat dyan. And finally, our advocacy, I would say, must always be rooted in deep spiritual conversion. Looking ahead to several months from now is the season of creation. I am also pleased to share that the global ecumenical theme will be, nabanggit ata ito kanina, living water. So with the symbol being immersion in living water. So sana po maghanda tayo para dyan dahil kasama po yan sa lahat ng preparation including the week ahead. So to close, I want to echo a beautiful reminder from LSM's Director for Asia Pacific and Membership Leadership, si Cheryl. Sinabi niya, may our struggles and our concern for this planet never take away the joy of our hope. So yun po yung kanyang words of wisdom para sa atin. So mga kapatid, mga kaibigan, alam naman natin yung paglalakbay ay hindi maikse, no? Napakahaba nitong ating road na nilalakbay, na tinatahak towards climate justice, but also towards ecological conversion and sustainability, and towards a truly green and peaceful world. So looking at the many people, including all of you here, all of you who are supporting the work that's being done by Green Convergence and also the Laudato Si movement, Pilipinas and globally. I have firm belief that our hope is well placed and has solid basis. So together, my dear friends, let's all turn that hope into action. At sana po ay magsama-sama tayo sa mga pagdiriwang sa darating na linggo for Laudato Si Week. Maraming salamat po and may God bless our continued work for our common home. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat, Yeb, no? Napakahalaga ng mga sinabi mo. Siyempre, itong ang Laudato Si ay hindi lang pag-care, no, sa ating common home, kundi gaya nga ng climate justice. It's also caring, no, ensuring that people at the margins are not left behind, no, sa pag-transition natin tungo sa isang mas magandang planeta para sa kalikasan, no. So again, maraming salamat, Sir Yeb, for the very insightful discussion.